the world now, let's turn our attention to the enhancement of bilateral relations. The Chinese Foreign Minister Wang Yi has met with the Brazilian Foreign Minister Mauro Vera in Brasilia, hailing the 50th anniversary of the establishment of diplomatic ties and the need for deeper cooperation between both nations. We have more in this report.
Laying the foundation for effective talks and stronger cooperation, the Chinese minister emphasized that both countries, being major developing nations, should enhance ties and jointly address global issues. According to official government data, for the first time, Brazil surpassed the milestone of $100 billion of exports to China last year. Brazil is a top member of BRICS, and it will also take over the G20 presidency in 2024. BRICS is an acronym describing the foreign investment strategies grouping made up of Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa as members. The Chinese foreign minister's visit to Brazil comes as both nations are commemorating the 50th anniversary of their diplomatic ties. Trade between the two nations has reached a record high. In November this year, the G20 summit is to hold in the Brazilian capital, Rio de Janeiro.
The U.S. Senate has passed a continuing resolution by a vote of 77 to 18 in an effort to keep the government from shutting down today. The bill was sent to the House for approval, and the House was expected to hear it on the floor later in the day. Several lawmakers hoped they would not have to stick around the nation's capital to vote on the bill, so they could avoid traveling back to their home states during inclement weather that's expected in the D.C. area. The legislation narrowly avoids a government shutdown and would extend deadlines for funding to be passed until 1st and 8th of March 2024. And also in the U.S., President Joe Biden has given remarks on investing in American infrastructure and the economy in North Carolina. During his remarks, President Biden emphasizes administration's work on the internet infrastructure, emphasizing that his goal is to provide affordable, reliable, high-speed internet to all Americans by 2030.
And yet, when I became president, around 24 million Americans didn't have access to affordable, high-speed internet. And for millions more, their internet connection was limited or unreliable. That's why as soon as I came into office, I took action with what we call the American Rescue Plan. And it included more than $25 billion to invest in affordable internet, high-speed internet all across America. A few months later, I signed a piece of legislation which many people didn't think we could get done, the bipartisan infrastructure law. A once-in-a-generation investment to rebuild America's infrastructure, our roads, our bridges, our railroads, our high-speed internet, all of it paid for. And look, our goal is to connect everyone in America to affordable, reliable, high-speed internet by the year 2030, everyone in America. Just like Franklin Roosevelt did a generation ago with electricity. I promised to be a president for all America, whether you voted for me or not. These investments help all Americans in red states and blue states as well. We're not leaving anybody behind.
And former U.S. President Donald Trump is asking the U.S. Supreme Court to put a swift and decisive end to his exclusion from Colorado's presidential primary ballot. In a court filing, Mr. Trump says chaos and bedlam would be unleashed if other states followed Colorado and banned him from primaries.